Weezer's a neat band, am I right? They're a sophisticated display of virginity filled with passionate fans and their hot takes. You think the Green Album's boring? Heavens to Betsy!
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Well, buckle your chastity belts and pucker those kissers, because I'm about to drop some spicy Happy Meals. Number 10. Brian Bell is the best member of Weezer. People always talk about Matt Sharp being the backbone of their atmosphere, but the band wouldn't be nearly the same without Brian. His backing vocals are so distinctive, especially in Pinkerton. Combined with being a consistently solid musician, I find him way more integral to the Weezer sound. Number 9. OK Human is B tier. Stylistically, it's a good direction, and yes, Weezer can be a lot worse. But let's not let that overwhelm our happy glands. The lyrics are iffy and lots of the songs sound too similar. Number 8. The Teal album is overhated. Yes, it's a covers album, and yes, it doesn't add much besides memes, but it's fun! You gonna tell me the majority of its songs don't just make you feel good? Get off your high horse, Fantano can't hear you. And speaking of covers, number 7. Some of Weezer's strongest work are their cover songs. On top of the Teal album, you've got their versions of Brain Stew, I'm a Believer, Rainbow Connection, Unbreak My Heart, Paranoid Android. You can really see them shine as musicians when they're not held back by themselves. Number 6. Fans tend to regard Matt Sharp leaving as a turning point in Weezer's quality, but Rivers getting into meditation and spirituality had a bigger effect. Compare the early discography to the later. Rivers wrote better when he had less inner peace. Not to say I don't want him to be happy, but this was the clear turning point above anybody leaving the band. Number 5. The Black Album isn't actually all that bad, it's just a terrible Weezer album. If it had some different vocals and a different artist credit, it's not a horrible pop album, but unfortunately it has to compete with Weezer's discography and is a far cry from what the fans desire. Put it in the right context, it's not that much of an abomination. Not saying it's great, but Lunchables taste better than Elmer's glue. Number 4. Hurly is not an underrated gem. It's not a middle ground between rock Weezer and pop, I just find it really boring, I'm sorry. Number 3. The Red Album sounds like it was written by a 12-year-old. Even the songs I like are guilty pleasures at best. The instruments are pretty minimal, the lyrics are stale and amateur, and even though I've shit on Rivers using professional songwriters, after this album it makes sense why he does it. Number 2. Maladroit is better than the Blue Album. Blue is consistent and wonderful, but Maladroit has way more balls. It's the kind of explosive experimenting they can only do after their debut. Blue may have 10 classic tracks, but Maladroit's sound is more interesting. And number 1, Everything Will Be Alright in the End is not that good. Now don't get me wrong, it is good. I pop it in the old Walkman more than some other albums, but I find some of the tracks pretty damn skippable. For example, Go Away has some shitty lyrics. Did they really rhyme Go Away with Go Away? You could remove that, Eulogy for a Rock Band, Lonely Girl, The British Are Coming, write some better lyrics to Ain't Got Nobody, and you've got a solid, shorter album. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please cancel me in the comments. As always, extra thank you to my top tier patrons Katie King and Stephen Walk.